Hello, I'm Plain Stranger, and this is another episode of Show Up and Tell, episode number 9. Today I want to talk about why recommendation algorithms on modern popular media platforms are not exactly the very best thing possible from the perspective of a user experience. And uh, recently, of course, I've been doing my uh, videos, I've been doing my talks, and of course, I've been trying to make them visible. I've been trying to use different keywords. I was trying to make covers. I was doing AI generated images. I was doing Photoshop editing. I was trying different things. Nothing really worked. And not only on YouTube, I tried different alternative platforms like Dailymotion, for example, or Vimeo. Uh, it's all generally the same, just on more budget, more. Mm, I would rather say a less technically developed level than YouTube does, and it's all about how well it that algorithm is in recognizing your niche audience, and how good are you at retaining that audience. That pretty much boils down to it, except of course the main point of existence of YouTube is selling paid promotions. So yeah, uh, I understand I'm not doing the very best content. It's barely even competing, but if you turn turn up speed at least 1.5 to 1.5, I truly believe that uh, there is some value to videos I produce, and there are people who could be at least partially interested in listening to what I have to talk about. But uh, generally, I don't become visible to those people. Of course, it would be a small group. It would be a group that could tolerate foreigners speaking English. It would be a group that is looking for something new on YouTube or other platform. Uh, and while I was trying to reach those people, I was talking to people on the internet about their experience doing their YouTube channel things, and uh, reading some advices from publicly well known media persons, and trying to understand how I could have done something more, something better, except maybe resolution. Yeah, that old school uh, 720p webcam so far is like my artistic filter, let's say. Uh, the thing is, uh, and many people have been pointing out that for quite some time. And I personally knew that, but there are things you actually know, but you don't I don't know, recognize that knowledge as something you can base your next thought upon. To somehow activate that information in your brain, you need some context, you need maybe a way to remember it and to compare it to something. In my case, it was comparing recommendation algorithms to blogging platforms from the age before social network, social media, like Facebook or I don't know, Instagram took place and became dominant. There were blogging platforms like Live Journal or um, local platforms like Dairy.ru in Russia or Live Internet or Blogspot. Uh, those platforms were providing feed for users based on subscriptions. You were getting your feed filled with posts that were posted by people you were subscribed to. There was no weighted positioning. I mean, if someone who had, I don't know, 3 followers posted something which nobody liked, which nobody commented, that post was chronologically placed onto your feed. Uh, just among posts by very popular bloggers who had, I don't know, hundreds of thousands subscribers who constantly had some words and comments and got a lot of attention. But again, you got everything, all the picture. And nowadays, you only get maybe, I don't know, 20-25% from most channels you are subscribed to uh, getting into your feed, uh, getting impressions actually. And again, those impressions, how YouTube counts it, I mean, it's not very productive. I mean, you may want to open your recommendation feed to find some breaking news on some situation in the world, and you were looking exactly for that video, and you were clicking exactly that news reel or I don't know, live footage from the place of where the news happened, and you ignore some videos that were offered to you from your subscription list, and that that a channel uh, gets worse impression rate, impression clicking rate, and you get less of those videos. That doesn't mean you became less interested in that. You can't like in those old days just scroll your feed to yesterday to last week and read or take a look at the pictures or photos from those days and catch up on updates from blogs you were following. Nowadays, it's now or never mostly. A lot of content is I don't know, so short lived. That whole idea around Instagram like it's instance now or never. And that by itself can be the problem. I mean, people get what's, I would say, more optimized to suit the lowest common denominator, but not exactly suit to you. I mean, yeah, it's very I would say customizable from the server side, but the way uh, the algorithm adapts to your behavior on the platform is not exactly as good as it could be. If the target of that algorithm was not retaining people, not spending their time on the platform, but if you were to subjectively rate its effectiveness in bringing you the most interesting, the most useful, the most enjoyable content. And another problem is retaining your audience. Mostly, what pretty much any social networking managers, PR managers will tell you nowadays is uh, you need to be consistent. Not just consistent in making your videos on time, like weekly or daily, or producing it more or less on the same time. You have to keep your topic, your theme, uh, and as narrow you can that topic, the more the more you have chances of retaining your audience, because again, algorithm ways similar content higher when you give it some positive response, some likes, some uh, returning to the channel, some clicks, and so on. But there lies a huge problem, and again, I'll compare it to blogging before Facebook, before social media. Back then, you were subscribing to some person that was, for example, an actor or an author or a well-known competitive gamer or I don't know, game developer, for example, from my experience, or some sport journalist, and that person has exactly some interests you share, and of course that person posts regularly on that topic. But then again, you were getting the whole experience, that whole blogging thing that was much more than that. For example, I've been reading from a sports journalist some articles on uh, history, or on history precisely of sport jerseys design, or I could get some updates on urban development in the city where they live, or I could get some joke they occasionally come up to think of, and that was creating much more sophisticated, much more uh, three-dimensional, visible picture of a person, of that person's interests and worldview. Uh, People occasionally could do comments on some political news, or on some international news. You could get to know them, like what alcoholic drink they prefer this time of the year, what breakfast do they like to cook to their spouse. I mean, that was a person. You were following a real person, not some I don't know, some mannequin that was pre-designed by marketing department from a commercial company. And that whole approach uh, narrows the worldview of the audience too. I mean, you like three videos with funny cats, you get a bunch of other cats. You may enjoy it. You may uh, honestly love cats. Or, for example, if I occasionally like some photo of a vintage car, I get bombarded with cars, with news about some events, or some other, I don't know, things around cars, like auto parts, or some advices from mechanics. And that's that may be interesting to some, and it afford, may allow people to learn something new, to find some new information, not just passively enjoy photos or videos they find amusing. But in a way, it limits you to that theme only, and you may not have enough time. I mean, you have a limited time. You have to earn your bread. You have to, I don't know, clean your house. You have to spend time on yourself, or on self-care, on some, I don't know, well-being, sports, medical procedures, and so on. And you have only that much free time, and you've already spent it on those cars that weren't exactly the most interesting, the most amusing, and definitely not the most um, useful information in most of the cases. And that leaves you no time to, I don't know, dive into something new. I don't know, astrophysics, or historical sociology, social studies of societies from the past. That is kind of new, and developing direction of social sciences I've discovered myself recently. And you just don't get that information, because it's very niche, again, like my show up and tell, and you get that information only when all other more popular, more clickable, more profitable information was offered to you, and you spend time browsing it and refusing it, and then algorithm may or may not, it's a black box actually, but in principle it should uh, filter all that, and then and sometime you get to uh, receive your new content that was probably more useful to you. That uh, that whole narrowing the topic could lead to narrowing the worldview of the population. I mean, if you spend some time following your niche, you may not know what's happening in other places. For example, life example from life. I mean, who likes retail workers? Like, right? I mean, however good retail workers may try to uh, do everything nice and fine, and every transaction look smooth. There are always some difficulties, maybe with goods itself, goods themselves, and maybe with the store itself, its policies that don't agree with your expectations, and there are on the front line. They have to be that guy who uh, tells you unpleasant things, like no sir, there are no such and such goods, such products here, and no, you cannot do that, or you will have to wait on something like that. And you may look on people working in retail in some very biased way, but then again you meet someone who works in retail, or maybe you work in retail yourself. For me, it was meeting a person who worked in retail, and we had long talks. That person explained to me the details of that job, and how from that person's perspective, from a retail worker's perspective, the whole situation looks, and it doesn't look as well, I would rather say you yourself wouldn't be that good of a guy looking at retail workers, and that situation you were stumbling upon in the internet of the past. But nowadays, when you follow your niche, when the platform gives you more and more and more of the same niche, you hardly ever get a chance to look from the other side, to broaden your view, to get some new information from unexpected direction. And that could lead to a huge problem. Again, that was, you know me, if you've seen at least a couple of my videos, that could be similar to what Soviet Russia has had experienced in the past, before the formal collapse of Soviet Union, when there were very narrowed niches of education. For example, Soviet Union had a lot of engineers, of physics, of physicists, uh, produced by Soviet education system every year. Uh, and those people were spending a lot of time practicing in physics, mathematics, applied mathematics, all kinds of engineering disciplines like architecture, uh, mechanics, electromechanics, and all that was great, and there were people who when the Soviet Union collapsed were in high demand in the West, because they were really pros in their niches, but they were so naive, so uninformed, so uneducated. For example, in many other niches like economy, how economy works, why they were getting their paycheck exactly in that amount, uh, not more, not less. People were having zero idea why economy works like it works. Or for example, there were almost no uh, way to get some knowledge on social sciences like sociology, politics, politology, all the stuff that allowed those engineers uh, be kept in a situation where they were getting paid like, I don't know, 100 $150 a month for the high level, their very professional expertise in their niche, and they had no idea to understand why the life works like that, why the whole political system in Soviet Union is against their interests, and how that could be built another way, how they could alternate their social behavior to get better results, to get further in life. And that was the main reason why Soviet Union existed for such a long time. I would not want many more countries in the world being turned into one-dimensional dummies that are so vulnerable to political propaganda, to manipulations in media, to lack the uh, knowledge of possible social practices to uh, enhance or at least retain their life quality. And that is exactly why narrowing your topic, narrowing your uh, narrowing the content that algorithm offers you can be a dangerous thing. And uh, that is pretty much all I wanted to say today to you. And I'm not sure I will produce a video next week. It will be New Year's Eve, uh, the biggest holiday in Russia, and one of the holidays I personally recognize as holidays. And I'm not sure I will have time. I will have um, right mood for making such video, and we'll see if I'll find my motivation in 2024. So for now, I want to wish you all the best in the upcoming year, and want us all to see the world to change maybe a bit, a tiny little bit, for the better in the upcoming year. Uh, I'm not very sure it's realistic wish, but let's try to make it, because if we don't make it, nobody will. That's it. Goodbye. Take care.